Hello everyone, welcome to GSS course. This is Ajay Shah. So let's start the class. So this is the first question for you, and this question is on group of 20 G20. So let's read the statement. The first statement says, the first G20 leader summit was held in the wake of global financial crisis. So this statement is correct because G20 was established in 1999 amid Asian financial crisis, which was basically a global financial crisis. So the first statement is correct. Now let us see the second statement. The 2000 summit was hosted by Japan for the first time. So this is also correct because in 2019 Japan held the presidency of G20 for the first time since its historical evolution. So both statement 1 and 2 are correct. Now some value addition. So what is G20? G20 is nothing but G20 is a group of 19 countries along with European Union. It was started in 1999 amid what? Amid the Asian financial crisis. Now G20 is a premier forum. It's a premier forum for all international economic cooperation, and it represents more than 80% of the global GDP. Now, since its evolution, G20 has made continuous efforts towards achieving robust global economic growth. G20 is also known as Summit on Financial Markets and the World Economy. In 2019, G20 summit was held in Osaka, Japan, and it was for the first time that Japan took on the G20 presidency. Now, this G20 summit in 2019 is important because in the sidelines of this summit, India and Japan exchanged letter of intent for Ahmedabad Kobe sister city. What is this Ahmedabad sister Kobe city? This is nothing but this is a partnership which will pave way for an enhanced economic cooperation between the two vibrant cities as well as the two countries. Now one thing you should note here that 2020 summit of G20 is going to be there in November in Riyadh, Saudi Arab. Fine. So that's all. Now let's move to the next question. So this is a purely factual question. The question is on Rome Statute. What is Rome Statute on? And the question is from which body this Rome Statute is related. So it's a purely factual question. Rome Statute is related with International Criminal Court. And Rome Statute is often in news because many scholars believe that India should join International Criminal Court. But India has always expressed apprehension with regard to sovereignty of our country because India has many concerns related to International Criminal Court. Now, if we talk about International Court of Justice, so there is no such famous agreement. But if we talk about WTO, then there is a famous agreement declaration behind WTO, and that is Marrakesh Agreement, Marrakesh Declaration. And if we talk about World Bank, then the famous agreement is Washington Consensus. Now, let's move to the next question. So, this question is related to September 21 revolution. So Arabic countries nowadays, they are very famous for some kind of revolution, and we say that the fourth wave of democracy has emerged in this Arabic nation. So why this September 21 revolution is famous? This is famous in which country? In Yemen. Why September 21 is famous? Because Houthi is a rebel group that is in Yemen, and they basically took over the Yemen administration, and it was an armed rebellion with the support of former President Ali Abdullah Saleh, and this group pushed the Yemen government from the power on September 21, and it is also known as September 21 revolution. Fine. So now let's move to the next question. So this question is on Caribbean Community and Common Market. So this is an important group nowadays because India is also pushing a lot of economic relations towards this Caribbean country. So let's read the statement. The first statement says it was established to replace the Caribbean Free Trade Area. So this is very correct because this CARICOM was basically established after replacing Caribbean Free Trade in 1973. And why it was replaced? Because Caribbean Free Trade failed to achieve the objective of these Caribbean nations. The second is that its seat of secretariat is in the Georgetown, Guyana. So this is a factual statement, and this is correct statement. The third is it ensures of standards of living and work. So this is correct because CARICOM is nothing. CARICOM is a group which works for streamlining, for better lifestyle, for better standard of living, the quality of life economic empowerment, peace, etc. Fine. So all the statements in this question, that is 1, 2, 3, all are correct. So option D is the correct answer. Now some value addition. What is CARICOM? CARICOM is nothing but it's a group of 20 developing countries in the Caribbean areas, and all those countries have come together to form an economic and political community. And the objective of this community is to shape policies for the region and encourage economic growth and trade. It was founded in 1973 by replacing Caribbean free trade. Now let's move to the next question. So this question is on brew refugee, and the question is, brew refugee recently seen news are related to which state? So which state? The correct answer is Mizoram. Now why this was a news? This was a news because Mizoram officials, they have re-identified 26,000 brew refugees belonging to more than 4,000 families, and all these people are locked in relief camps in the north Tirupura district. Now how come the people, the refugees who are from Mizoram, they are in Tirupura? They are in Tirupura because of a communal tension that was there in the late 90s. Fine. So that's all. So let's move to the next question. So this question is on Accelerator Lab in India. So let's read the first statement. The first statement says it has been launched by UNESCO in collaboration of Atal Innovation Mission. Now what is Atal Innovation Mission? Atal Innovation Mission is a mission of Government of India which basically aggressively push towards knowledge economy, an economy in which the solution with respect to all the socio-economic problems that are founded on the basis of some innovative idea. Fine. So the first statement is factually incorrect because it's not the UNESCO, but it's United Nations Development Program that has launched its Accelerator Lab in India. Now let us see the second statement. It is an initiative to find modern solutions to today's complex new challenges. So second statement is correct because Accelerator Lab has been there. It has been established in India to find the to find the solution to the challenges like climate, the problem behind climate change, the problem like in the field of irrigation, the problem in the field of water, sanitation, etc. So statement 2 is only correct. Option B will be the correct answer. Now some value addition. So United Nations Development Program has launched its Accelerator Lab in India, and this Accelerator Lab has been launched with the collaboration with government's Atal Innovation Mission. Now objective of this Accelerator Lab is to address some of the most pressing issues facing in India, such as air pollution, sustainable water development, climate change related problem, etc. The vision, the objective of this initiative is to make faster progress in meeting the ambitious sustainable development goals of United Nations by 2030. Now Accelerator Lab is an innovative initiative, and this is a collaborative project, and the parties in this collaboration are number 1 United Nations Development Program, number 2 state of Qatar, number 3 state of Germany. Okay, so that's all. We'll move to the next question. So this question is related to electoral bonds in India. Fine. So let's read the first statement. The first statement says these are interest-bearing promissory notes brought by citizens or corporate for donation to political parties. Fine. So this is a little bit tricky statement because electoral bonds are there, and these bonds are there for donation to political parties. That is correct. The bond can be brought by citizens or corporate. That is also correct. The bond is a promissory note. That is also correct. But it is not interest-bearing promissory note, but it is interest-free promissory note. There is no such interest-loaded promissory note. So the statement 1 is wrong. Now let us see the second statement. Any party registered under the Representation of People Act 1951 is eligible to receive electoral bonds. Now this option could have been very easily eliminated by common sense, because how come we can make any such a scheme which will be applicable to all the political parties? There has to be some criteria. Now the criteria here is that any political party which has secured at least 1% of the votes in the recent elections are only eligible to avail the benefit of electoral bonds. So statement 2 is wrong. Now the third statement is any firm can donate a maximum of 7.5% of its average 3-year net profit as political donations through this bonds. So this statement is little tricky because this clause of 7.5% of average 3-year net profit was certainly there in electoral bond scheme, but now this is not there after the amendment, financial amendment of 2017. So all the statements 1, 2 and 3 are wrong. So correct answer is none of above. Now let us go for some kind of value addition. So what is electoral bond? Electoral bond is nothing. It's like a promissory note that can be brought by any Indian citizen or company incorporated in India from selected branches of State Bank of India. Fine. Now any citizen or corporate can donate something to any eligible political party of his her choice, and these bonds are similar to bank notes that are payable to the bearer on demand and are totally free of any kind of interest. The bonds, those are issued under these electoral bonds that range from rupees 1000 to rupees 1 crore, and any political party that is registered under section 29A of Representation of People Act 1951 and has secured 1% vote are eligible. Okay, so let's move to the next question. So this question is on global gender gap index. So let's read the statements. The first statement says South Asia has made the fastest progress on closing its gender gap of any world region over the past decade. Now, if we use our common sense, then it appears that this statement is wrong. But this statement is factually correct because as per this global gender gap index, South Asia has made the fastest progress in comparison to any region of the world. So statement 1 is correct. Now the second statement is the index has been released by World Bank. So this is factually incorrect because global gender gap index is released by World Economic Forum and not by World Bank. So statement 2 is wrong. The third statement, India is ranked 4th in the number of years a female or a male ruled a state. Fine. So this is also correct. The rank of India was 4th. So statement 1 and 3 is correct. So A will be the correct answer. So let us see some value addition. So World Economic Forum has basically the World Economic Forum has come with a report, and the name of report is Global Gender Gap Report, and this report basically takes into account 149 countries and it tracked the progress of these countries towards gender parity across 4 dimensions. Now the dimensions are, the first is economic participation and opportunity, then we have education attainment, then third we have health and survival, and at last we have political empowerment. Now India, if we talk about the rank of India, then India has been ranked 18th in political empowerment and 4th in number of years a male or a female ruler state. Fine. So let's move to the next question. Global Terrorism Index is released by Institute for Economic and Peace. Fine. So you just remember this. The correct answer is Institute for Economic and Peace. Now what is this institute? This institute is nothing. It's an independent, non-partisan, non-profit think tank dedicated to shift the world's focus to peace as a positive, achievable and tangible measure of human well-being and progress. Fine. Now it achieves its goal by developing new conceptual framework to define peacefulness. It provides metrics for measuring peace and uncovering the relationship between. So it is important. It uncovers the relationship between business, peace and prosperity. Now headquarters of this institute is in Sydney, Australia. Okay. Now let's move to the last question. So this is again a very easy question. So there are 3 terror groups, proxy group, and we have 3 countries with us. So it's very easy. Hezbollah group. This is in which country? Lebanon. Where is this Al-Shabaab? Al-Shabaab is in Somalia. And where are these Houthis? Houthis are in Yemen. So correct statement will be option number B. So that's all for today. So please like and subscribe our channel for more such videos. Thank you very much. Thank you.